work out so that physically you're more fit, you're toned, and you feel better, and your mind is more clear as well. Okay? So one of the things I can recommend to you is engage in a form of exercise. Now, what form of exercise is good for you? You have to figure that out for your personality. Some people like rigorous exercise, and some people like more moderate exercise. And I'm going to give you some examples of both of those in a moment. Okay? But so far, we have exercise is a good mechanism for helping to balance out the stress in our lives and create better health. What's another one?
Tai Chi.
Yes, we're going to talk about that under the exercise in just a moment. You're absolutely right.
Swimming.
Yeah, all that's exercise. But let's talk about a whole different category. What about eating? Eating habits.
Some people eat more.
Some people, when they're stressed, they go for the junk food or the foods that aren't necessarily so healthy, or they eat more than what they should because it's an emotional crutch. Okay? They're using it as an emotional crutch. Now the problem with that is that instantaneously, yes, it might give some relief because you're getting the pleasure of eating, but long term, guess what you're doing? You're adding more stress. Okay? Because the more you eat, the more unhealthy you become, the more stress you put on your body, and you don't feel so good either when you're eating and you're putting on more weight.
Well,
okay?
I eat a lot, but I don't wait.
That's good. That's good. Excellent. Well, you know what? You're blessed with good genes, right? However, there's no guarantee that in 20 years you'll still be blessed. So if you don't watch us having those behaviors, they might catch up to you.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so eating. Now here's the other part of that. If you're eating the refined, the processed, the real sort of devitalized foods that don't have a lot of vitamins and minerals in them, you're not giving your body what it needs to fight stress. You're not giving it the vitamins and the minerals. So recommendation is the more you should use, the more you live in life, the more you should try to eat as natural as possible. Fresh, healthy, and alive foods, vibrant foods, fruits, vegetables. If you're going to eat meat, that's fine, but make sure it's well trimmed. Okay? Make sure it's good meat. You know, myself, I'm a vegetarian by choice. I eat fish and I have some eggs once in a while, but I've just decided that meat's not for me. That's not for everybody. I don't recommend that for everybody. But if you're going to eat meat, make sure it's lean, make sure it's healthy. If you can get organic meat, that's even better, because you're free from more of the chemicals that are pumped into the meats these days. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
The question I would like to ask.
Yes.
Is it true that when you're stressed, you don't lose the weight?
Stress react for everybody, it sort of impacts them differently. Some people gain weight, some people lose weight under stress because their habits are different. Some people will eat and eat and eat and eat, some people won't eat at all under stress. So there's different reactions to stress from different people, and that's what you have to get to know about yourself, is how do you react as a person? Because there's no general rule for everybody. Everybody doesn't react the same way. We all have different mechanisms, coping mechanisms. Some people eat a lot, some people don't eat a lot, some people don't eat at all under stress. Okay? So for certain situations, yes, and when you're chemically, if we're going to look at this hormonally, when you're under stress, if you have cortisol in your system, if it's prolonged stress and there's cortisol in your system, then it is harder to lose weight because cortisol, okay, stimulates other hormones, and certain hormones that keep taking the sugars out of your system and storing them as fat cells. So they keep the whole cycle of weight gain going. So yes, it's more difficult to actually lose weight if you're trying to when you're under a lot of stress. Okay. Hormonally speaking.
Thank you.
Yes.
Also, when you are under stress, you tend to worry too much that you end into depression and it creates more problems.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
You don't eat nothing, you don't do anything for yourself.
That's right, that's right. That's something that you have to really monitor and be aware of, because you don't want to fall into that slump. When you fall into that slump, it's hard to motivate yourself to do the good things, to take care of yourself. All right, so eating habits, exercising, what else can we do for stress management?
Some people withdraw from other people. They don't want to see anybody.
That's right.
Stay in bed.
That's right.
In their house.
That's right. Okay. Now, when it comes to different types of people, generally we term them as cold reactors and hot reactors. Okay. A cold reactor is somebody who, when they're under stress, likes to be a couch potato, wrap themselves up, watch TV, forgets about everything else, doesn't really keep in touch with other people, and just cocoons. Okay? And that's basically a cold reactor. A hot reactor is somebody who blows their top because they can't keep it in, right? And they just, whoever's around gets it, right? So, okay, and that's what happens for hot reactors. They like to just blow, okay? Now, neither of those two reactions are better. Because when you're a hot reactor, you tend to get your blood pressure elevated, you know, all the things that are happening in your body are triggered. Also, you can hurt other people, whether it's emotionally, okay? Hopefully not physically, because we don't want to see any physical abuse, but still, the emotional and mental abuse that comes along with blowing your top is just as bad. Now, for the cold reactors, the people who keep the anger, the aggravation, the disappointment inside, guess what? That works on your own body. If you don't get it out, if you don't relieve it, it's like a pressure. You know how you have pressure building up, building up, building up, building up? Well, it's got to go somewhere. And if it doesn't go out, if you don't get rid of it somehow safely, then it's going to attack your own body. It's going to attack your own internal organs and your systems. So it still needs to be dealt with. Okay? So let's talk about dealing with stress, built up stress. How can we do that? Let's look at some methods now. First of all, breathing. Many people in today's day and age do not breathe properly. What is breathing properly?
From the navel up.
That's right, right down from the lower stomach area. Okay? Just so you know, I'm also a master in martial arts. I ran my own martial arts school for 16 years. One of the things that we teach in martial arts is to breathe from the lower abdomen. Okay? There's a part just below the navel, which we call the hara. In Chinese, it's called the dantian. Okay? And basically, when we breathe from this lower part here, we take in as much oxygen as we possibly can. Most people breathe from where?
Up here.
The upper chest area.
Yeah.
And when you're under stress or you're anxious, that's where you breathe from. You don't even know that you're not breathing deep. So you're missing out on oxygenating your body. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to use your nose, and I want you to fill up the lower part of your body here, right? The lower abdomen. I want you to actually feel it push out as you breathe in. So put your fingers down on your lower abdomen. Okay? When you breathe in, feel that expand down there. Okay? And then breathe out. Good. And breathe in again. And breathe out. Now what I'd like you to do is let your hands rest to the side. Okay? Close your eyes for a moment. And just concentrate on the inward breath now. If you hear noises, if thoughts come into your mind, just be aware of that, but keep your attention focused on the inward breath. So breathe in now. And now breathe out and keep your attention on the outward breath. That's right. Okay? Now what I'd like you to do is breathe in again, hold it for 3 seconds. Then breathe out and keep your attention on your outward breath. And we're going to do it one more time. This time you're going to breathe in, hold it for 3 seconds, then breathe out, and keep your attention focused. Keep your attention focused on your breathing in and your breathing out. Ready? And breathe in. Hold it for 3. Then breathe out. Good. Now I'd like you to open your eyes. Okay. Now that little exercise took only a minute. Under a minute. We did that under a minute. Okay?
Yeah.
If you were able to do that for a couple of minutes a day and actually do it so that you become good at where no matter what you hear in the kitchen, no matter what you hear around you, your attention is just focused on your breathing, you will alleviate a huge chunk of stress. Because when your senses have to take in so much information and it activates your mind, the reason why I say close your eyes is because visually you can get distracted. Auditorily, what you hear, you can get distracted as you hear things. And that triggers your mind to start thinking. Then you say, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. And your mind is...
When you close your eyes, you relax.
When you close your eyes, you take away the visual distractions. Okay, so that's a big chunk, because visually, we take in a lot of information. When you breathe, you just focus on the breathing. That puts you in touch with your body. Alright? And you learn to keep your attention on your breathing only, so that slows down your mind. When you slow down your mind and you give your body a break by not thinking so much, you're not under so much tension. And you can actually feel the tension starting to be relieved from your body. So here's what I'd like you to do. Because we're doing this seminar today, which is Monday, for the next 5 days, okay, I want you to challenge yourself and do this on your break time while you're here at work. You can do it at home too, but take 2 minutes of your break. And I want you just to breathe from your lower abdomen, and I want you to focus on that breath. And do it for the next 5 days, and try to do it for 2 minutes. Okay? And I want you to see the difference at the end of the 5 days, how good you become at this exercise. And you'll surprise yourself. Now, if you want to master this exercise so it becomes a habit and a behavior, do it for 21 days. Because 21 days is that point where it becomes so automatic and so easy to do that you don't even have to think about it anymore. It becomes habit and routine. Okay? All right, so now let's step up from a sitting meditation to a moving meditation. A moving meditation is like this. It's called Tai Chi.
So, when somebody sees you not, this that's already.
Okay, so that's part of the Tai Chi form. Now,
it's all focus, right? You're focusing
yes.
on, yeah.
When I'm doing that form, there's nothing else on my mind. When I'm doing each motion, the only thing that's on my mind is me being the motion. Okay? So like when you're breathing and you're sitting there, and you're focusing on your breath, and there's nothing else, just your breath. In Tai Chi, the object is for you to become the movement. So there's nothing else in your mind. Now that, when you get to that point in Tai Chi, it becomes a meditation in movement. Okay? And the benefit of that is you're still breathing, you're still meditating, but also you're exercising. Because each one of these moves makes your body do something. Right? So you actually have to use your leg muscles. You have to use your arm muscles. You have to move. And that's good for you too because you're exercising. So the benefits of something like Tai Chi, not only is it meditative, but it's also exercising. So, stand up.